next, we're going to talk to Kathy Chiron. I have to say, I don't want to say an old friend, but a good friend from way back. And our sons were really good friends. But I am so excited that she is now the president of the League of Women Voters and also a sponsor of our election guide that came out this week. So I want to welcome Kathy to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Denise. It's great to see you. And thanks to the Washington Informer.
Yeah, I love that sign behind you, statehood for DC. Hey, the struggle continues.
You better believe it.
So tell me a little bit about, for those who don't know, some background on the League of Women Voters.
Well, we're 100 years old. We grew out of the suffrage movement and continue through these 100 years to empower voters and defend democracy. So our goal is to make sure that everybody who can vote, and does so with the confidence of knowing how to vote, who to vote for, and has the ability to get to the polls and cast their ballot.
And you're not only local, but you're also a national organization, isn't that correct?
Yes, we're in 50 states and the District of Columbia. And interestingly enough, there's one overseas unit in Hong Kong.
Take credit for it.
Not all my doing, but I was there.
Yeah. Well, no, that's exciting because we just don't know how far and wide. I mean, we know it when things happen in this country and we hear what other folks around the world are thinking about our own elections, which we always talk about other folks as well. But to know that there are people on the ground in other places actually trying to keep our folks registered.
Right, because there are Americans living everywhere in the world, and you know, the ability for our military, our foreign service folks, and other people business people who are working overseas to be able to cast their ballots in all the U.S. elections is important. So
you all are about to, I think, host a virtual event coming up soon. So talk about that.
Yeah, Tuesday evening, the League of Women Voters US is hosting a Facebook Live program on examining racism, and there'll be opportunity for everybody to participate as well. And this is something, you know, we realize the history of the suffrage movement has had its well, some cringeworthy moments, as we know. And I know the Washington Informer has been great about highlighting some of our unsung heroes and heroines through the movement, and through, you know, all the current events. It's forced us all to take a good look at our history and learn from our errors and our mistakes, and learn where we can do better and strive to do better. So I think Tuesday's program will be a good event for everyone.
Are there any individuals who are going to be participating that we?
It'll be our national president, Dr. Deborah Turner. She's a medical doctor who grew up in Iowa, I believe. And she's our recently elected national president, and our CEO, Virginia Case, will both be on the event. So unfortunately, I'll be listening in, but I'm also been asked to be on a panel that night with our YWCA. So like many of us, we juggle many, many events at the same time. So
lastly, I know that, you know, whenever there's an opportunity for, whenever there's an election, the League of Women Voters are like, you know, right there in the forefront. Yeah, you provide a lot of information, just like AARP, and, you know, information guides and voter guides, and places where you can go and actually find out. Would you talk to us about what you have that's available?
Yeah, so vote411.org is just an absolutely fantastic resource for any U.S. address. Excuse me, you can go online, key in your address and are able to see, you'll be able to click on a link to register, to update your registration, to find out your polling locations when they're open. And we've updated everything. We'll continue to update everything with COVID information. And as things evolve, if new polling sites come up, if one's closed, whatever, it will be updated. But in my mind, excuse me, the most useful resource is actually the voter guide. You can see everything that's on your ballot. And here in DC, you know, in our local election, we have over 20 people running for an at-large council seat. And how do you sort out who to vote for? So the League works very hard on crafting questions that are not leading in any way, but address issues that our voters are concerned about. And we pose these to the candidates, and it's up to them to answer. And we can see those who have taken the time to answer and look at this and help us each decide who we want to vote for. And this information is all the way up from our ANC commissioners that are running for office, all the way up the ticket. So people say, you know, vote the whole ballot. I'd like to say vote up the whole ballot. So let's start with our ANC folks and work our way up. But vote411.org is a fantastic resource. It's all the election information you need for anywhere in the United States.
Well, the one thing about COVID, it has certainly given us more access to information and ways to know about voting than in past years. So there's a positive side to this, if one exists. Let me just ask briefly before we go, how does one become a member of the League of Women Voters?
Oh, easy. Go on to our website, lwvdc.org, and click on that join button. And that's it. We have student memberships, and we have a regular membership as well as sustaining and centennial memberships. We're a 501c3, so all of the donations help us with our efforts to get out the vote, or as I've been saying, GITV, get into voting, because not only should we be into voting, but we can actually vote in our homes now. So GOTV, get out to vote, but also GITV, get into voting.
I love that. I love that. Kathy, Sharon, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to at least sharing this some more with our listeners and our viewers, and we will be talking to you soon. Thanks again.
That's great. Thank you, Denise. It's great to see you.
Okay.
Where do you come to get